Thank you so much, Bowen. Thank you for everyone's coming and the people who really helped for this event happening. And Adam and everyone who support us. Thank you so much. And thank you, Bowen, to invite me to come to share our project to everyone. Yeah, I'm so happy today to meet everyone. And thank you so much for your coming today. It's nice to meet you. And let's enjoy our night. Let's start. So I'm Tianyuan Zhang, and now I'm studying PhD at Goldsmiths in the second year with Marco Gillies. And this project is called Sensing Nature. I'm the creator and researcher for this project. And with me here is the co-creator and the second author of the research.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm also studied at Goldsmiths 2 years ago here for computational arts. And for this project, I'm the physical installation and the co-creator and all the things. Yeah, this is like maybe the co-founder is a picture. Thank you.
Thank you. So our project is supervised by Marco Gillies, who is my PhD supervisor, and our producer is Lila Watson and Kate Gordon, who work in BBC VR department before. And Lila Watson is ex-BBC VR department header. They really help us a lot. So we are in the midst of a trade crisis, a crisis of environmental breakdown, and a crisis of human mental health. Research indicates that contact with and connection to nature are strongly associated with improved health, well-being, and pro-environmental behaviors. The ecological crisis we face is not only a material or scientific problem, but also a profound crisis of sensibility. Zhongming Wang argues that art plays a critical role, not as a form of denunciation, but as a medium of reconciliation that helps us learn to truly see the living world. What is sensing nature? Sensing nature is a multisensory virtual reality installation that aims to energize, relax, and enhance well-being. Each touch will generate different flowers, sounds, and vibrations. Represents the nature growth. And help people with a closer connection to nature. Each individual's experience is totally unique. So, in the virtual world, there is a virtual tree that represents the shape of the physical tree. In the physical space, there is a physical tree with a lot of textures aligned with the location and the shape of the virtual tree. So, when you touch different fabrics, you will trigger different visuals, audios, and haptics, like vibrations. The haptics including active vibrations and passive tactile sensations. To address the lack of direct touch-based haptic interactions in VR. This project investigates multi-sensor interaction in virtual reality's impacts on people's feelings and attitude to nature. This is in the physical world. There is a haptic tree we just picked up in a raining day, the dying branch. And we also collect different fabrics, like the soft, spiny, and highly bumpy fabrics invoke visuals of spiny plants, and the soft fabrics correspond to gentle, soft-looking flowers. Different textile sensation was designed to different visuals, audios of flowers. And in the physical sensor side, there is a vibration system we custom. We use ESP32 microcontroller, and we modularize it So every time when people touch different physical fabrics, at the meanwhile, their virtual hand is touching different box colliders in Unity, and then send different data from the virtual world to the physical world through ESP32, these sensors, to trigger vibrations and flowers, audios in the virtual world. In the virtual world, what we have? There are no interaction elements and interaction elements. The no interaction elements indicate the timeline of stories. For example, there is a blue moon right at the beginning to indicate the start of stories, and the virtual hand to represent your hands in the virtual world as energy ball. The energy ball will also change colors over time, and there is a virtual particle tree, as you can see here. So when you touch different part of the virtual tree, you will trigger different flowers, like this. This is 3 different textiles, and when you touch, you will trigger patterns like this. Each set of touch is mapping with each visuals, and as time grows, the visuals, audios, and vibrations will change, grow up from small patterns into 4 blooming flowers to indicate the energy of growth to bring people different feelings. And different textile is mapping with different visuals, audios, and vibrations. So each individual's experience is totally unique. It depends on when you touch, how you touch, and where you touch. Here is the ring elements. Ring gently ushers in a shift in emotional tone. Indicate the transition of big tree growth. Indicate something important is happening soon to give people the feeling of peace and relax. And here is the big tree growth. As rain falls, life flourishes. From groundwater flowers to the majestic big tree, participants touch the virtual installation tree, activating energy dots, lines, and flowing energy flowers that shape the big tree's growth. These energy flowers rise from the virtual haptic tree to the big tree, bridging the connection between them. As interactive energy builds, the big tree evolves from dots to lines, with colors shifting beautifully from cold to warm. More layers of glowing, shining leaves gradually appear, gradually stretching skyward. The haptic dying tree springs to life, thriving through the participant's touch. So how can we design multisensory interaction? In my view, so what's the haptic image including with? The haptic image include textile information and kinematic information. Tactile information include active vibration design. There is the vibration motor we custom, and the passive tactile sensation we collect from different fashion shops and design different flowers and audios for textiles. How can we design kinematic information? For example, when you move your hand, touch up and down, the visuals will also follow your hand. They will appear immediately with your hand, with where you touch. If you touch longer, the flowers will appear more. So it aligns with your movement immediately and respond to your touch. And we also design different spatial sound. We have our own composer, who is also amazing. For example, this is the pattern appear with spiny and high bumpy fabrics. As time grows, you will trigger the music grows with the same texture but in different timeline. And gradually energy grows. The music becomes longer. Finally, sunrise. People feel immersive in the virtual nature environment. Moving by the peaceful and calm information. And we also conducted qualitative study to analyze people's feedback after experience. We conducted semantic analysis to investigate how does multi-sensor interaction in virtual reality impact people's feelings and attitude to nature. We tested it with 10 participants at Goldsmiths in our lab. Before entering the VR world, participants sat and I invite them to touch and familiar with different textiles, and then they try the experience. The whole experience is 30 minutes. After that, an interview was conducted immediately. We got a lot of interesting findings. For example, immersion. People feel they are totally immersive in the virtual environment, forgot the time passing, and they feel touch and vision makes them have kind of two experience in two worlds. They forgot all their anxieties in the reality. Participants emphasized that the integration of multiple senses, visual, haptic, and audio, set this experience apart from both real nature and non-interactive virtual reality experience. The multisensory design offers a greater sense of agency and presence. And although individuals perceive different dominant senses, they highlighted how the combined effect shapes their emotions subconsciously. Participants describe feeling relaxed afterwards, peaceful and happy as well. The most powerful and enchanting moments emerged when all three senses work in harmony. No motion sickness was reported. They still feel comfortable after the experience. Rather than reducing interest in real nature, the virtual experience deepened participants' emotional connection to it. They express increased attentiveness to real nature beauty, a stronger desire to really touch and care for the real nature, and greater motivation to physically engage with nature after the experience. An intriguing finding from our project is that many participants describe their connection to the tree using analogies to human relationships, calling it a friend or even a mother. This aligns with Lajin's emphasis on human relationships as metaphors for human-centered connection, human-nature connections, and Marisa's concept of relating to our alien kin, being vastly different yet biologically connected to us. Our work revisits Zhong Mingguang and Marisa's concept of the crisis of sensibility, where traditional Western art often distances humans from nature by depicting it merely symbolically. However, inspired by the 19th century's Hudson River School, a new art that displayed living these as and for themselves, informed by the new diving sciences, our sensing nature never as anthropomorphizes the tree. Participants interacted with it as a tree, not as a humanized object. What they experience are abstract visualizations of chemical flows based on scientific knowledge, which gives them a new embodied understanding of the tree's life. Its invisible connections, its immobility, and the long time scales of its actions make it seem solitary and inert to us. But Sima's work shows that trees communicate through underground fungal networks. They nurture each other, even form kinship-like bonds. These are precisely the relations described by our participants after interacting with sensing nature, but they would be unlikely to discover them simply by touching a real tree without the interactive visualizations of invisible flaws. This is my puppy, Lion.
Silicon Brighton.
Yeah. He never met this animal before. He doesn't know who he is, but he interacted with it because of the water. Maybe he sees some invisible connections to him. Thank you so much. And you can find more details by scanning this QR code. Our paper, the pictorial, was also accepted by a conference called DIS, in Madeira this July. I just come back from there. It's a very nice conference for design and arts. So you can find more details and pictures in this QR code. Thank you so much. Any questions?